Libra. Okay. This is going to be your reading for the rest of this month, the rest of July. And for some of you, it's going to be whenever you get to this, reading, I hear your soul will be screaming for it. Whenever you reach this reading, it's because your soul is calling in for a higher perspective. Okay. So I hear you're being pushed, you're being pulled. You're being pushed and pulled. You feel like I hear a straitjacket. Some of you feel like you are in a straitjacket, being pushed and pulled, not knowing which way to go, feeling like you deserve so much better than this. I hear things are being shooken up in your house, or you could be taking out the time to reorganize things that are in your house. There's a lot going on around you. I hear hysterical. You're going to find your emotions all over the place. So one minute you're going to be very hysterical, crying, very emotional, very down and out. And then the next minute you will find yourself laughing. So that's why you're probably thinking to yourself, damn, my emotions are so confusing and conflicting that I need a straitjacket, like making a joke to your own self, basically. So let me tell you what's really going on. This is like a deeper look, a higher perspective. You could be seeing the number 1111, 444, 333 a lot. I hear the time. Every time you look at the clock, your thoughts are racing. Your thoughts are racing forward. Your thoughts are racing backwards. Backwards, you're overplaying things that people said to you, things that hurt you, things that stung you, things that stood out, things that you could have defined yourself by. This all seems like solitude. You're in solitude, placing you in solitude. Spirit is placing you in solitude. Time alone. So what's happening to your world? Because that's what I feel like you could be asking yourself. What in the world is happening? You are going through an awakening. You're going through a massive spiritual transformation. Some of you might even see the number 555, which means big changes. If you are crying, then you are crying because you are mourning the loss of an old version of yourself that no longer will exist. I hear pre-existed, and it's no longer going to exist. There's a lot of earthly, is what I hear, a lot of earthly things. It can even be an earth sign, a Capricorn, a Gemini, but in your world that you feel conflicted about. I hear in the past, this is something that will pass. Or it could have been someone who passed away that you've been conflicted over. Distorted. You could have distorted views and distorted belief systems that are no longer serving your highest good, that was passed down to you from generation to generation. I hear memorial. This really is like a passing, someone who died. This is a pass for some of you, not all of you. I hear memory and recalling events from the past, or when someone passed. Maybe someone died around you and you never had the time to grieve the loss of someone. You never had the time to grieve. Or the feelings that you are feeling now, and I hear temporary, it can make you, why you could be thinking about someone who passed. I hear who was terminally ill and upset you. You could be comparing the feelings that you're feeling now to death. And the reason why is because you are going through a death. And control. You could have been in a very controlling dynamic, or you could have been trying to hold on to control to keep things the way that they are, even though they were no longer serving you. I hear on a strict diet. Could be your doctor. Some of you have high blood pressure and you need to flush out your system. Starting all over again. Maybe you are on a diet and now you want to start all over again. So I hear going down memory lane. You could have an old friend, I hear, that will call you up, but they're fishing. They're truly fishing, but they're going to go down memory lane with you. But they're fishing. They're worried about you. They see that you haven't caught them. And so much time has passed since they last seen you or been with you. So they're calling to see how you are. That was very random. A lot of you are developing psychic abilities, intuitive. Your third eye is opening. You are starting to get glimpse of the past. You're starting to realize that you weren't treated good in childhood. You're starting to see that you could have thought you had a good childhood, but I hear appearing to be different. Or you could have had parents who they wanted to show the world that they were living better than they were, or they were better than what they actually are. And you're realizing, it's like, because even my intuition is coming in very jumbled. You are getting massive downloads, and it's all this information that's starting to come into your conscious. It could have been in your subconscious, and now it's starting to come into your conscious. You are awakening, and you're awakening to the reality. You're realizing why you were in connections that I hear didn't last. You're starting to realize that some of you were clinging on to the past, and now you are dialing back. You're stopping to take a look inside of your heart. Let's see. I hear finishing what you started. Finishing what you started. You love. I hear I'm trapped in your love cycle. You could have had a love cycle that came into your life and threw your world around. Flying. Some of you could be taking a flight out, or you could have flew away to be with someone and things didn't work out. But the point is, they threw you off. They threw you off of your path. You finishing up, going back to what you used to do. Some of you, I hear record deal or record label, or you're tying up the strings. Maybe you used to do music or art, healing energy. You used to do more and be more until this love cycle came in and threw you off track. It's like you're facing your shadow. You had a parent that always compared you to everyone else, made you feel like you weren't enough. You're starting to see why you don't feel enough, because a parent who always criticized you and judged your behaviors, who gave you harsh treatment. You're recalling the events. You're seeing it spun you out of control emotionally. It handicapped you. And you chased partners who felt like you weren't enough because your parents made you feel like you weren't enough. Okay. So it's like I'm bringing up a bunch of past stuff, but this is what you're going to be going through. I hear cleaning up, like you're helping people. Some of you help people who have diseases. You could be an aide or a nurse. I hear feeling left out in the cold by many. And the truth is, you're not being, I hear you're watched over. You're highly protected. You're highly spiritual. You're going to be gravitating to new things that you're going to be gravitating to new things. You're going to be drawn to new things. You're going to have weird cravings for like strawberries. Um you're going to be drawn to certain areas. You're going to be drawn to certain colors. Using your sixth sense more than you ever have. You're going to start to realize that you can't count on certain individuals, or you can't trust certain people. I hear time again, you were forgiving the wrong people. You could have been surrounded by narcissists. For some of you, you have a child who is mentally ill, or you have a child who is mentally disabled, and you've been nurturing and caring for this child, and you left yourself out. All this hearsay, all this gossip, and it's just almost like Spirit is clearing all these people away from you in order for you to focus on you. And I hear you have no choice. If you are in isolation, it's meant to be this way. So what this is basically you forming an identity for yourself. You could have been a person who was people pleasing and wanted to appease to the needs of other people. You didn't have strong boundaries at all. I hear put up. You would put up with a lot. You didn't have any boundaries. Boundaries are to protect you. You are struggling. Some of you struggling to make ends meet. Some of you working at a market. Or struggling to tell people no, struggling to tell people, I don't like this, I don't want to do this, I don't feel comfortable with this. You could have been wearing a mask to pretend in order to blend in with people that were taking you off your path. I hear there's no coincidences. Everything that's happening to you is happening to you for a reason. And control. You could have been fighting and holding on to a world that was no longer fighting and holding on to a world that no longer served you. So that you can fit in and blend in. And when you would try to bring up your point of view or things that were important to you, people would change the topic. So it's almost like people always try to make you feel like you're not important, or what you have to say is not important. And now you're starting to see or find proof of things that you spoke of, that you're starting to see it. And you're starting to say, these people are purposely trying to make me feel beneath them, or small, or like I'm slow, or like I don't have sense. And all along, I'm actually highly intelligent, highly wise. And people who would pick you to parts, like people who would purposely take stabs at you unnecessarily, picked on you. Some of you could have been picked on in class as a stereotyping you. You could have been stereotyped, judged, put down. And this truly took a hit on your self-esteem. And you started to identify yourself as these things. The world, it could have been in school, in your household, relationships of all people who put you down. So you were harshly critical on yourself because the world was harshly critical on you. And you started to wear a mask to blend in with people in order for people to like you, so that you won't be outcasted and so you won't be criticized. So you were going along with things that you actually didn't like just so you can have people, conforming to their way just so you won't have to be alone, so you could be accepted, so you could be likable, so you can get the approval of others. While you were doing this, you were selling yourself short. You were wearing a mask that did not identify with who you truly were at heart. If Spirit is separated you, they separated you so you can spend time with you to find you. Until you're, I hear it's a journey, it's a self journey. For you to find yourself, you have to be by yourself until your identity is strong. And then you can make bold moves. There's dreams and visions. You have a vision board, and you don't do anything on your vision board. You just look at it and you get excited, and you sit in your head and you sit in your imagination and you daydream of a world that you are afraid to create because you think you're not enough. You imagine the worst because you come from a home of poverty, struggled, some of you abused, people using you, putting you down, and you identified yourself with these wounds, and it is not of you. Spirit separated you to show you the lies, and they want you to find your truth, find your calling. Water. Water. Drink more water. Be kind to yourself. Look in the mirror at yourself. You notice the beauty in others, but you don't notice it in yourself. You notice the gifts in others, but you don't notice it in yourself. And until you can empower you and look at yourself as powerful as you see the world, Spirit is keeping you to you. Until you can find you. You don't need to be with anybody else right now. For some of you, you are single for a reason. And I hear also it's just a season. If you don't know you, you will date people who don't know themselves, and they will treat you as if you are nothing. You go into connections fighting a war because truly the war is in you. You are fighting to be seen. You are fighting to be heard. Spirit isolated you so you can fight by yourself. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. That is not your job. You're going to be more outspoken. Once you start to, I also heard writing a will. Some of you are going to rewrite your will. You could be taking someone out of your will. Someone who didn't deserve you. Someone who treated you, I hear narcissistic supply. They treated you as if you were a narcissistic supply. They spoiled you rotten and then disappeared and turned their back on you. You're taking them out your will. I also hear money embezzlement. Whoever you were with, they showered you. They were a fraud. They lived a lie. I also hear joint accounts. This could have been somebody you were married to. I hear knocking heads with each other. You guys were like water and oil. It just didn't mix. I hear everything was good when you were dating, and then when things got serious, it got bad. I hear owning your part. You take accountability for things that you've done, but the other person never did. And they would talk about you to coworkers. They would gossip. You have friends who would talk about you and gossip. Deep down inside, you're heartbroken. Somebody slashed somebody's tires. They got sick and tired of them. Things didn't work out well. So also milk. Maybe you used to be able to drink milk. You can't drink milk no more. Strange coincidences. And it's nothing. There's nothing strange right now. You're thinking it's strange and what the heck am I going through? But Spirit is like, keep going. We right here. We right here. All right. If you feel like your world is out of control, it's just change. when you go through a big change, I hear everybody sees it. Everybody sees that you are changing. When you're done with this change, your whole path will be altered. You will be raising your standards, changing your wardrobe. In this season, people are going to wish they treated you better. Knowing your worth. This is a walk for you to understand your worth and understand who you are. If you are a prayerful person, just know that. If you pray, you got to trust. You have to trust and believe that you are being delivered. So you might have prayed to fix somebody, and instead you were taken out of the situation so you could be fixed and healed. Just because you pray for somebody, if they don't have the same prayer as yours, if they don't call in the higher spirits and they don't ask for that for themselves, there's no guarantee that it will work for them. So I hear like you're going to show them how it's done. You are going to be an example. You were taken out of the equation because you are going to be used to make this change. Once you change, everybody around you gets shooken up. It only takes one generational curse breaker to shift the whole family line. That's all it takes, is one person being brave enough to step out of the societal norm, step out of the generational belief system. It takes just one. I hear eyeing you from a difference, noticing the difference in you. Whoever this person who is eyeing you from a distance, they used you as a scapegoat. Your dream state is activated. Spirit says this was a long time coming. A long time coming. I just also heard earth sign. So it's like I hear counterfeit. You could have thought somebody was your twin flame. It was a counterfeit. It was a karmic partner who was meant to teach you powerful lessons about honoring yourself and loving yourself. Yeah. Selling out. You've been selling out your soul to make other people happy. You're doing things that you don't even like, that you don't even love. I hear wearing. You even wear things that you don't even like or love to suit others or to draw others to you, but it's not what you want. There's a new way. Spirit is going to give you new vision, new eyes, a new mind. You're going to think different. Season of change. Many will not agree with you. Many will try to stop you from this magical, divinely ordered change. Don't let them. You're going home. Going home means going back to source, going back to the authentic version of you, going back to what you love. How teachable are you? I hear splitting you up so you can see the difference. You kept going back into the same cycle, expecting something different each time. Nope. Spirit said no. They had to stop you. You were ruining yourself. How teachable are you? Let me just ignore them for a few days, and then they'll learn their lesson. When I come back, they'll love me better. Spirit said, that person, they don't know how to love. And I hear risking it all. No matter how harshly this person treated you, you were still willing to go out on a limb for them. Spirit said, come out of there. We got to get you up out of there. So they caused separation because you already had a lot of grief and suffering, and your soul couldn't take anymore. Selling your soul out over and over and over and over again. Spirit wants to give you a clean start with a new mind. Once you think you're enough, you will no longer sell out. But they have to break bad habits that you had. People pleasing, neglecting yourself to help other people. You were off track for a very long time, but praying for things but still showing up the same and expecting a different outcome. You kept doing the same thing and expecting something different. Yeah. You had such a deep hole in the soul, emptiness, a void. You wanted this person to fill the void inside you. Spirit separated you so that you can fill the hole in your soul yourself. You can't have someone else fill that hole in your soul, because then that means you become codependent on them. And when they treat you good, you feel high. But when they treat you like shit, you feel low. They put you up, you up. They put you down, you're down. And you're making them your God. You're making them your master. And there's only one person that, I should say, the spirit world is what we worship, not humans. Humans don't have the same abilities as God or the angels or your spirit team. You were making people your God. You were using people to fill the hole in your soul, and this is why they controlled you. They took your power from you. You're in isolation because spirit wants you to regain your power back yourself. If you give it to you, nobody can say that they gave it to you. And if you give it to you, ain't nobody can take it from you. Oh, shit. If you give it to you, ain't nobody can take it from you. If you give yourself love, nobody can take that love away from you that you give to you. But if you're dependent on somebody else's love, they can take it, destroy you with it. They can do all kinds of stuff. But if spirit isolates you, it's so you can understand that you are loved and you are lovable and you are enough and you are deserving. But you have to see this in you for you. Because if you try to force other people to see it for you, then them same people, they can take it from you. You're unstoppable once you see you. Nobody can call you out your name because you know who you are. You don't answer to nothing but the highest of names. You are being rescued from your own self-suffering. This is a choice. If you decide to go back into the fire, that is a free will choice. Look at people as spirits. Look at people as a spirit. If a person is kind, they have a kind spirit. If a person is evil, they have an evil spirit. And spirits are powerful. Energy is powerful. So if you're around evil spirits, what does that do to your spirit? It contaminates your spirit with poison. If they're negative and they're around you constantly, if they're indulging into negativity and negative behaviors, it contaminates you. It starts to make you even feel like the world is not a good place. It starts to make you feel like nobody in the world is safe. It starts to make you feel like you living on hell. You living in hell on earth. And it's not true. It's the people you're around, the people you're allowing to take from you and use you and abuse you, that are making you feel like life is hell. Being surrounded by the right people and being the right person makes a huge, tremendous impact on your life, your belief systems, and how you feel internally. Love lifts you up. Love empowers you. Love is the strongest energy out here in these streets. Hate breaks you down. Hate makes you look in the mirror and see that you're nothing. Love makes you feel warm. Love makes you feel high. Love makes you feel joy. When you're around people, ask yourself, are they making me feel loved or hate? Two cards of sexuality, sexual arts. I just heard imprisonment. Somebody you were with, imprisonment for embezzlement. Somebody around you had a spending addiction. Sexuality, using sex to make people love you, or using sex as a form of love. Intimacy can be built without having actual sex. Intimacy is when somebody's drawn to your mind, not just your body. Sexual arts is the duality. It's the yin and yang balance. Some of you females were in your masculine. If you're in your masculine energy, it makes you chase. It makes you feel like you have to work for somebody's love. You need to embrace your feminine side. You had a damaging feminine energy, and that comes from a mother. Only a hurtful father, an absent father, you don't trust masculine energy. And a hurtful mother, an abusive mother, will make you abandon your feminine energy. You see what I'm saying? If you're a woman, you receive, you're feminine. You're not supposed to. Your job is not to prove to a man that you are worthy to be loved. It's not for you to work and take care of him. You are in a masculine energy. So if you always get mad, like, why always gotta take care of men? Step into your feminine side. On the feminine side, you are a receiver. You are a nurturer. And that's it. Your job is not to take care of men. Men are providers and protectors. You know, and in this society, of course, women and men work. But I'm talking about divine masculine and divine feminine energy. A real man that loves you, he wants to provide for you. He wants to show you his masculine side, because men are supposed to lead and you're supposed to trust his leadership. But if you want to lead, then you take on the masculine. That means what? The man is the feminine. He just sits around. He don't really do anything. He's waiting on you because you stepped into the masculine energy. You're not supposed to. Maybe you in a household that's seen a parent, if you had a mother support a man and you took on the energy of that parent. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Ooh. Yeah. Like temptation and lust, holding on to lust. Lust is not enduring. Lust is a temporary filler of a void. This is why ignites the runner chaser off and on, pull and pull, because it wasn't built. The foundation was never built on anything stable. It was built on lust. Like sex don't, sex is not filling to the soul or the heart. So this is what you're fighting off. This is what you're trying to cut out. Yeah, see, you feel rejected. I also heard spending addiction. Maybe when you feel rejected, you start to spend, and you wonder like, damn, why do I spend so much? When you feel rejected, you use spending or buying yourself things to fill the void, which goes back to the hole in the soul. People who have holes in the soul, they use a lot of things to fill it until they're isolated, which you are right now, to fill it yourself. So people will use shopping, material things to try to fill the hole. They buy it and they're excited, and then they don't care. They just throw it in the closet. They probably never even wear it. People use food. But spending addiction is what I heard. I hear a narcissistic mother. Your mom was a narcissist. And you could have been pretending for so long that this wasn't happening or that she isn't. You wanted to ignore it. Now you have to look back deeper into why your world is the way it is, because you're tired. You hate your life. And I don't mean to say it like that. But some of you can get to the point where I just don't feel comfortable in my life. This is not what I want. And this is why. Inner child and home. You just want to be loved. You just want to be seen. You just want to be accepted. You just want to be valued. You just want to be held. You want to be nurtured. You want to be embraced. Your home didn't give that to you. Your home, you could have been in a home where parents were constantly fighting and just neglected you. Didn't tend to you emotionally, and they never paid you any attention. Sat you in front of the TV so that they can argue, fight, or whatever you had to deal with. It was a lack. It created a hole in your soul, and you're still looking to fill it because your mother and father never did. And this is why you're attracting people who don't give you the attention or love that you truly desire, because it's a replication of what you went through in childhood, and you need to heal it. Spirit says, spend time with others who see you, who see your value, who love you, who love you, who love you, who love you, who loves you for you. They don't need or want anything from you. Your time alone is just enough, because you're enough. If you're a giver, be with givers, because a giver gives. And a taker takes, baby. There's nothing you can do about that. A giver gives and a taker takes. Compatibility. Being with people who take, they don't give. A person who truly loves you is going to be with you whether you have it or you don't. Honoring true love. Being your first true love. Honoring you. Yeah. See? Forgiveness. A soulmate. They hurt you to the core. Maybe some of you don't trust anymore because of what this soulmate did to you. Maybe you feel like all hope is lost and there is no good people, but there is. You just need to overcome this stepping stone. Come on to the other side. There's love on the other side. There's love on the other side. See? There's a divine, if you're a female, there's a divine masculine for you on the other side. They're going to see you and love you and work with you and protect you. I hear calmer energies is coming. Let me just get this one. It's like the time is now. Yeah. Take a moment. Breathe. Think. Filter out your world. Yep. Soul solitude, baby. You digging deep. Spirit calls you to stop. Don't look for another lover. Don't go back to that other lover. Just stop for one moment and just truly look, what is happening? Why is this happening? And breathe. I hear orchestrating events, getting you back on the right path. Some of you can even benefit from a group, because I hear sharing your thoughts with others who can relate to you. You can benefit from a group, finding a group that can help you cleanse away all this pain and cleanse away your thoughts that the world is a cold place and everybody mean and everybody just takes and love just hurts. Cleanse this away, because there's someone waiting on the other side for you. It's the other side. You know what I'm saying? Baby, it'd be the other side for me. It'd be the other side for me. Because on the other side is a brand new beginning. The floodgates. You have so many beautiful angels watching over you and protecting you as you go through this transformation. But you have to address your shadow. And you have to feel worthy in order to receive. Because, all day you'll hear people, I deserve better than this. But then what do you show up for? Right? They said never follow words, actions. Your actions show you what you truly feel like you're deserving of. So what actions, what are your actions showing you? Are they showing you that you're worthy of more? Or are you clinging to situations that hurt you? Because your actions prevail what you really feel like you're worthy of, not your words. Okay? Woo. Let me just do one card for your cross watcher. I feel like that was all about you. And you deserve the reading like that. You deserve the reading that focused all on you. Because baby, it be you for you. It's that self-love. It's digging deep. You deserve a reading all about you. And not having to worry, well, what about Tom? What about Harry? What about... What about you? What about you? What about you? What about you? Ooh, what just flew out? Yeah. It's like divorce. You're finalizing a divorce. That's what's happening on the other side with cross-watching. And it's all about differences on different pages. Yeah, see? Karmic. You're closing out a karmic. Karmic had you in a third party. Had you in a third party gossiping. Yeah. A narcissist who just can't get enough, because takers take. They couldn't get enough. Even though it's done, they're still going to be trying to pull onto your energy. Don't let nobody use you. Yeah. And if you want to know if this person is healing or if they're better, no. If it's a woman, they still up to their drama. If it's a guy, they still up with the drama. Look at it. Thirsty, chaos. They like chaos. Remember about the spirit. People come with a spirit. Believe what you see. It's a man still with the drama. Woman still with the drama. Still with the shits. They ain't out here healing. They still with the shits. And like trash. They trash talk people. They treat people like trash. Darkness. They harness the energies of the lower self. What would they say to my Libras? I hear divine timing is on your side. And don't wish back for a person. I hear suicidal. They made you feel suicidal for some, not everybody. But that's how damaging they were of a person, of a human. Sometimes I hear your voice in my head. So they still hear things you could have said to them. I've been struggling lately. They've been struggling lately. Some of them I heard terminally ill. Some of them are ill, like mentally ill. And this is you. You didn't imagine it. I know more than you think. You found out about who this person really was. I hear smear campaign. I say this to validate your experience. They treated you bad. They didn't deserve you. And you didn't deserve that. You didn't deserve that. And look, I took the easy way out. They took the easy way out. They couldn't show up authentically. They couldn't tell the truth. They couldn't. So they ran. They ran. If you required honesty, if you required certain things out of them, they took the easy way out. It's just to show you that they were never who you thought they were. They weren't that person. Your body language says so much. To me, I just think that's tense. When you get around the person, if you see them, you tense up. You don't even want them to touch you. You know what I mean? It's like you're so easy to see through. You see through them. Like you see that you're in touch with your truth about who this person is. Spirit wants you to take back your power. You're in touch with your truth. How long is this? All right, one more. For Libras. Yeah. Explore your other options. Move away from this situation. Look into your other options. And find friends. I did say that, right? Like a group. Find a group of people. Find caring, loving. I said people who love you. Spend more time with the people who love you. You're gonna need to build your self-esteem back up. So you're gonna need people around you who validate your existence and the power that you hold. People who see the beauty in you. And it's contemplation time. You could be thinking of a new job, a new field, and you'll get it. Blessings will come down to you. And I hear they will reap what they sow. If you're wondering, it's like they're gonna reap what they sowed. They sowed some bad seeds. They're going to have to live with that. So I send you so much love and light.